Hi, my name is Shreyans. A few times I've been ACC India rank holder, and I want to talk about how to deal with the stress of exams, right? While we're preparing, while we're studying, and also on the day of exam or just one day before the exam, because that's where things can get really scary. So I get this all the time with my friends or students who come up to me and tell me that we don't know how to prepare. We're just so afraid. What if something absolutely unexpected comes up on the exam? Will we be able to clear the exam or not? And questions of these sort, right? So it is very natural to be afraid of the exam, right? But I think if we prepare smartly, then we can at least manage that anxiety, manage that stress. I cannot say we can completely eliminate it, but I think we can organize our studies and organize our preparation in a way that we can manage that stress in a way that it doesn't impact a performance, right? So now I feel that first thing that can be very important is having a good peer group to study with. So I was fortunate enough in that sense because I was studying with some really smart people, and we'd have a lot of discussion around different topics. We'd help each other as well. And I also had very good mentors as well. But I understand the point that not all the people will find very good mentors, so to speak, right? And a lot of times you might actually be taking some paper with just self study, right? And I think if you're just studying alone for something, at that point, having a good peer group can really help you. It's not just from understanding topics point of view or from studies point of view, but you also get that sort of psychological support, right? Because there is someone who's in the same boat as you. So I think that can be a big help. Now, getting into the meat of it, getting into the important parts of, first of all, let's talk about how to prepare for this. Right now, what would usually happen is the seriousness to prepare usually comes after we pay the exam fees, right? Before that, we'd just be studying. So, and usually between the fee payment and the exam day, we'd have about 35, 40 days. So that would be the time when we'd actually put in the effort, right? Now, when it comes to preparation, I think there are two important things. The first is to be very spot on about the timeline that you have and be clear about the stuff that you're supposed to do daily. So, for example, if you have 40 days to study seriously, right, and you've studied a fair bit before that as well, but this is where you're going to really put in the effort, right? So, obviously not going to study till last day of the exam. You have to leave some time for revision and to appear for the mock exams as well. So let's say out of the 40 days, the last 10 days are reserved for the mock exams and for the revision. So you basically have 30 days to prepare, right? In those 30 days, you have to study the concepts and you also have to solve the questions, right? And we'll get to this later as well. So what you would want to do is you would want to estimate the number of hours required, and then obviously you divide it by 30, and you, or whatever number of days you have, and you get how much time you need to spend on a daily basis. Based on that, then you can prepare whatever schedule you want to prepare, whatever timetable you want to prepare. But more important than the timetable is this timeline of knowing that what is supposed to be completed by when, right? So that is one thing, is to have that sort of plan in mind, because that would bring some clarity and that would bring some structure into your preparation. The second thing, which is probably the most important thing while preparing for exams, right, is to practice more and more questions. So for me, at least in my experience, doing questions has been more important than understanding concepts, because a lot of times what happens is that we just study the concept, we don't understand it, so we study it again, we still don't understand it, and we keep studying it again and again, but we're not going to understand it that way unless and until we apply that concept in a question. It is very difficult to understand it, and if you can apply it in a question, then you definitely understand the concept. But if you just understand the concept, it is not sure that you can definitely write the answer, right? Because let's say you want to cook something, right? You've read the recipe perfectly, you watched the video on YouTube, and now you're like, I can cook it, right? But unless and until you actually cook it, you haven't understood it, right? Or just because you watched the video doesn't mean you can actually cook it. So that is why I feel that you should spend most of your time actually practicing questions, right? Don't just read through the answers or read through the solutions. Actually write the answers, actually solve the questions, right? Actually type the answers or whatever the exam format is, right? So that is very, very important, because through questions you can automatically reinforce the concept. So the way I would do it is I would quickly study the concept, whatever it is, whether it be taught in class or if I'm studying on my own, right? Then I'd move on to the questions, right? And while I'll be solving the questions, I'll obviously face some issues, and then I can come back to the concept to see, okay, what am I not able to understand, and then see it, and then again come back to the answers. But broadly speaking, focus more on solving questions than just studying the concept or reading the text again and again. So I think with these two things, more or less your preparation part is sorted. And now let's get into the last 10 days or the last few days before the exam. So first of all, it is very important to be completely accustomed to the exam format, right? How many marks, how many questions, right? What are the formats of the questions, and in from which areas would which type of questions be asked? Whatever information you can get. So I think that is very important, not just the studying part as well, because when you know what sort of things would be asked in the exam or in what format would they be asked, then you can also, modify your preparation as per that. So be very well aware of the exam format, so to speak. Then mock exams are extremely, extremely important, and don't just take a mock exam 2 or 3 days before the real exam. You should have at least a week or 10 days, right? So for example, if your exam is on 5th of a month, right? So you should try to appear for your mocks around the 25th of the previous month. So probably 24th and 26th, or 23rd and 25th, something like that, right? So you have plenty of time to evaluate your performance in the mock exam and also identify areas that you're not so good at. And then you can go back and revise those areas better. And whatever your performance in the mock exam is, try to reduce it or try to scale it down by at least 10%. Because in the real exam, it might be slightly difficult, you might be slightly more nervous. So you need to be able to manage for that. So for example, if you're scoring 70 on your mock exam, think of your real score on the exam to be around 60, 63, and then you have to prepare according to that. And while you're attempting mock exams, it is crucial that you appear for the mock exams in an environment that is extremely similar to the real exam environment, right? So what I would do is I would uh, write my mock paper at the same time that my ACC exams are supposed to be. So our exams would be in the afternoon from 2:30 to 5:45. So whatever exams I would attempt, I would also attempt them at home at this same time, right? And I would not distribute or divide the paper into one section and another section. I would write the whole paper at once, no disturbances. Your phone shouldn't be there to disturb you, or you should also communicate to your parents or whoever you live with that I am sitting for this exam and I am going to be engaged here for whatever time limit is there, right? And you should be prepared to the point that you know how you're going to write the real exam. So for example, when I used to appear for ACC exams, it used to be pen and paper. So I would and in the real exam, we were supposed to write using a black pen, not a blue pen. So while appearing for mock exams as well, I would use a black pen, not a blue pen, right? Because as your familiarity increases, the uncertainty and the doubt automatically decreases, right? So this is the trade-off, and we talk about this mindset slightly more later on. Now, from what I know, the ACC exams are all online. So even while you're preparing and you're writing answers, don't use pen and paper. Write them out on your desktop, because you need to have better typing speed and not good writing speed. So however your real exam is going to be, all your preparation efforts should be directed in a similar manner, so that on the real exam day you're not uncertain, or you're not basically out of your comfort zone. Your preparation should be to get you in a comfort zone while you're appearing for the paper. And now for the final day of the exam, just one day before the exam, so there's this technique, or there's this ritual that I would sort of go through, is to play the entire exam in my head before the actual exam, right? So of course, I mean, I don't think there is any use of revising at the last moment. If you've prepared well for whatever days that you had, then you can be relaxed during those last moments. And I would use that time, let's say the night before the exam or in the morning of the exam day, because our exam would be in the afternoon, is to play the entire exam in my head, right? How I'm supposed to reach the exam center, at what time am I supposed to reach there, how would I be waiting for the question paper, because that is a very ridiculous time, right? Waiting for the question paper. And as soon as I would get the question paper, what sort of things would I mark in the question paper? So I would highlight the verb, I would see the number of marks, then I would process in my head, okay, these are the number of points I'm supposed to write. This is the amount of time that I'm supposed to give, right? So we'd have about 3 hours and it would be a 100-mark paper. And I would allocate 1.5 mark for each, 1.5 minute for each mark. So if it's a 6-mark question, I'm supposed to write 6 points and I'm supposed to complete it within 9 minutes. So that is the sort of things that I would play in my mind, that, okay, I read the question, I underline the verb, I identify the core concepts, I write down the number of minutes I have to solve this question, then I get on to reading the case study. And then while I'm reading the case study, this is what I'm supposed to mark, or how I'm supposed to frame the headings. And this thing I would repeat twice or thrice in my head, right? For the entire paper. I would also plan that, okay, what if I have only 5 points when I'm supposed to write 6 points? I'll just write those 5 points, I'll skip, right? And whenever I'm stuck at any question, because this might happen, what am I supposed to do then? So this sort of scenario planning, you can call it, or this sort of pre-planning, or whatever you were visualizing the exam, whatever you want to call it, this is something that has immensely helped me, because I already have it in my mind what I'm supposed to do. And in most cases, nothing comes out to be extremely new, because I've already thought it through in my head, right? And this technique at least immensely helped me through my final exams, where everything was descriptive and there were no objective questions. So in those cases, it can be immensely helpful, right? Think of it like an artist rehearsing their performance. So before they actually go out on the stage and play whatever they are going to play, and you're so mesmerized by watching them, so they have already rehearsed it so many times, right? Or a sports person or a sports team, before they step onto the field, they already have the tactics sorted, they already have the strategy sorted. So this sort of mindset, or this sort of thinking, or this sort of preparation really helps you to eliminate the uncertainty that is there with respect to the exam, right? Because our stress, most of our stress, exam day stress, is due to the uncertainty, is due to that nagging question in our mind, okay, what if something absolutely different turns up? It is unreasonable, right? If we've prepared well, we have a fair basis to understand what might come. That's not to say that something unexpected might not turn up. Obviously, it's the real exam, it will be more difficult than what you prepared for. But when you are in that frame of mind, and when you have prepared in such a way, then you would be better equipped to handle that uncertainty, right? So what we're basically in a position of is uncertainty, and that's why we have all the stress. And the way that you prepare is to try to bring as much control as you possibly can in your own hand by your preparation. And that is how you can basically manage the anxiety, you can basically manage the stress. So visualizing the exam before actually taking the exam has been of immense help to me, right? So it is basically, I'm playing the whole game in my mind, and it helps me to execute whatever plans that I have to the best of my abilities. And at least this has worked out well for me. I am not sure if it will work out for everyone, but what I want you to do is think of what can work for you. How do you feel comfortable? How do you feel certain? How do you feel in control? Right? Because if you are in control, then obviously your stress levels would automatically reduce, or you would be able to manage that better. So this is something that has helped me. I hope you can apply this, or maybe this helps you to think of your own techniques that you can develop to manage your stress. So I hope this was helpful. If you still have any questions about how to manage anxiety or how to prepare, then please let me know, and I'd be happy to help.